somewhere in America right now there is a person sitting at a desk doing a job they are reasonably good at. They earn a salary they worked hard to reach. They are responsible. They invest something every month. They are doing most of what they were told to do. But they have absolutely no idea that there is a specific dollar amount sitting in an investment account somewhere. That would make their salary optional. Not someday, not in theory, but mathematically and permanently. Most people spend 40 years chasing a bigger paycheck without ever being told that the paycheck itself can be replaced. Not by luck, not by inheritance, but by an investment account that reaches a precise target and begins making more money in a year than their job does. That target has a name. You can calculate it. It is different for everyone, and for most people it is much closer than they have been led to believe. This is because the number they were told to aim for is wrong. By the end of this video, you will know what that target is. You will know how to calculate your own number and exactly what the journey toward it looks like year by year and milestone by milestone. If that is the kind of clarity you have been looking for, stay with me, because this changes how you see every dollar you earn from here forward. There are actually 2 milestones on this journey. There is not just one. Most people mix them up, and that confusion costs them clarity. The first milestone is called the crossover point. It is the moment your investment growth for the year is higher than the money you put into it each year. If you invest $15,000 every year and your investments grow by 7%, the crossover point happens when your account reaches roughly $214,000. At that value, a 7% growth makes $15,000. This matches your own money put in dollar for dollar. From that moment forward, compound interest adds more money than you do. For most consistent investors, this milestone arrives somewhere between year 10 and year 15. It is achievable. It is concrete. And psychologically, it is the moment the machine stops feeling like something you push and starts feeling like something that pulls. It is worth noting the exact target is personal. The more you invest each year means you need a higher account balance to cross it. But the crossover point is not the finish line. It is the first major signal that the second engine of your wealth has come alive. The second milestone is what I really want to talk about. Call it the breakaway point. It is the moment your investment growth matches or beats your yearly salary. I am not talking about your investments but your salary. This is the income your job pays you for a full year of work. This is a totally different calculation, and it requires a more honest conversation about what that number actually needs to be. Your first thought is to assume you need your account to replace 100% of your current salary. If you earn $90,000 a year, you might think you need your investments to make $90,000 a year. That logic makes sense. But for most people, it makes the actual target too high. And doing that makes the breakaway point feel much further away than it really is. Consider what changes when you stop working. The house might be paid off. The kids are financially independent. Commuting costs disappear. Work-related costs like clothing and lunches and professional fees are gone. The part of your income that was going toward retirement savings no longer needs to be replaced because you are already retired. Financial planning research consistently points to 60 to 75% of your old income as the realistic replacement target for most households. Not 100%, not 80%. In most cases, it is closer to 2/3. On a $90,000 salary, that brings the actual target to somewhere between $54,000 and $67,500 per year. I will use $63,000. This is roughly 70% and works as a clean, conservative middle point. The formula from there is straightforward. Divide your target income by your expected real rate of return. Real return means after inflation. That is the number that reflects what your money actually buys and not just what the account balance says. The long-run historical average for the top 500 United States companies adjusted for inflation has been approximately 7%. That is the number I will use. $63,000 divided by 0.07 equals $900,000. That is the breakaway point for someone earning $90,000 a year. This assumes realistically that they need about 70% of that income in retirement. Now compare that to the 100% assumption. $90,000 divided by 0.07 is $1,280,000. The difference between those two targets is nearly $380,000. On a consistent savings plan, that means years of extra work and savings. The assumption you start with changes the destination entirely. Your number will be different. The formula stays the same. Multiply your salary by your realistic income replacement rate. Then divide by 0.07. That result is your breakaway point. If that number just reframed how you think about your financial future, then you are in the right place. Now let us see exactly what the path to that number looks like year by year. Picture two lines on a graph. The first is your salary sitting flat at $90,000. The second is your investment growth starting near zero. Assume you are investing $15,000 a year. This is a disciplined but achievable savings rate. You put this into a broadly diversified investment fund earning 7% each year in real returns. In the early years, the growth line barely moves. By year 5, your account sits around $87,000. Annual growth at 7% is roughly $6,100. Your own money is doing nearly all of the work. This is the phase that breaks most people. Not because the math is failing, but because the progress feels invisible. By year 10, the picture shifts. Your account has grown to over $207,000. Annual growth is now $14,500. The crossover point is close. The second engine is warming up. Around year 11, you cross it. Your account clears $214,000. Growth surpasses the money you put in. For the first time, your money is the harder worker. By year 20, your account is approaching $615,000. It makes over $43,000 a year. That is nearly half your salary made passively. The gap between the two lines is narrowing. Somewhere around year 25, the lines meet. Your account reaches $900,000. At 7%, it produces $63,000 a year. That is the income you actually need. The salary line no longer towers over the growth line. They are even. That is the breakaway point. From here, every extra year of saving is just speeding things up and not a necessity. Work becomes a choice backed by money and not an obligation backed by fear. I need to be direct and say that not everyone will reach the breakaway point. Reaching a $900,000 account requires 2 decades. It takes the discipline to leave the money alone when the market goes down and the stability to keep investing through interruptions. But here is what matters. The breakaway point is not the only milestone. The crossover point is that earlier moment. Once your account is growing faster than you can feed it, the pressure shifts. A job loss is a disruption, not a disaster. Progress toward the breakaway point builds up in real ways. An account at $500,000 or $650,000 still funds a great life. Think back to the person at the desk. The only thing missing was a target. You have that target now. I want you to calculate your breakaway point today. Use real numbers, write it down, and let every dollar carry that weight. Before I go, this is for reference only, not financial advice. If this helped, like, subscribe, and drop your number below.